Hey, what's up? Since returning to the YouTube and this series that started it all back in the day, nearly 900 days ago from the time of this recording, I am encouraged to take on an additional project. It is springtime after all, and baseball is around the corner. My backyard football with the most butt juice team series has been a fun project, a simple project.
Oh no!
But now I'd like to take our lack of talents to backyard baseball. In the backyard football playthrough, we are playing on the original 1999 release. So you would think we would play the original backyard baseball release from 1997. Nah, son. We will be playing on Backyard Baseball 2001, the second edition of Backyard Baseball. For a few reasons. Simple nostalgia. This is actually the first backyard sports game I owned, Backyard Baseball 2001. Improvement on the graphics is always a plus. Unlike backyard football, there are no pros as kids in the original release of Backyard Baseball. They are present in 2001. They might actually be necessary to fill out the roster, and we will get to that point momentarily. Backyard kids do not appear on the opposing teams in the 1997 season mode. It's all NPCs. Yes, a vast majority of the opposing players will still be NPCs in the 2001 edition, but at least one backyard kid on the team adds some personality and charm. And then, reason number 5. This actually might be the real reason I'm picking 2001 over 1997. This is Parks Department Field number 2. A fine, balanced baseball venue with a jumbotron in center field. There's even seating for background humans to sit still, never move, yet generate noise. This field, in the 1997 version, is the only field you will ever play on in the regular season. Whether you're the home team or the away team, you will always play on Parks Department Field number 2 in the regular season. That's 14 games, at least 84 innings of this. No changes to the scenery, never an evening game, nothing. You will always play here. In 2001, you can choose a home field, and your opponents will have their own home field. Now, one of those fields may very well be Parks Department Field number 2, but at least there's some variety. Some fields also pose unique quirks and challenges. Take Tin Can Alley, for example. It is nearly impossible to hit an out-of-the-park home run without a power-up. Or having the incredibly shallow center field in the iconic Steel Stadium. There's also a pool. Playing 2001 as opposed to 1997 does throw us for a bit of a curveball. Get it? A major difference is how skill points are distributed. In the original releases of Backyard Baseball and Backyard Football, the players' skills are ranked from 1 to 4, 4 being excellent and 1 being butt juice. This would also be the case in the 1998 original release of Backyard Soccer, which we will play one day. With the case of re-releases such as Backyard Baseball 2001, as well as the original Backyard Basketball and Backyard Hockey, the skill points are ranged from 1 to 10, 10 being excellent, and 1 being butt juice. But remember how I said it would be a little more challenging to compile this butt juice team in Backyard Baseball as compared to Backyard Football? Backyard Football had 5 skill categories: throwing, catching, running, blocking, which really doubled as tackling, and kicking. Backyard Baseball only has 4 categories: batting, running, pitching, and fielding. With fewer skill categories, skill points have less areas to be distributed, meaning that no one player is necessarily absolute certified butt juice. except Kimi Ekman. Backyard football's roster consisted of 7 players, with only 5 on the field at any given time. In the original Backyard Football video, I talked about the criteria I set to determine a player as bad, and it turned out that only 7 players met those criteria. But mind you, that 7th player was a custom player that we intentionally made terrible.
This kid is not a strong player.
Now, Backyard Baseball 2001 does allow you to create a player as well, so we will definitely take that into consideration. But a full baseball lineup takes 9 players. We just barely made our little monsters thanks to the custom player. All 9 players have to play defense, and all 9 players have to bat. Baseball is interesting because there are so many different roles a player can fill, so that their strengths compensate their weaknesses. Mikey Thomas is slow as molasses, but hits dongs. Angelo Del Vecchio, as we know, is also slow as molasses, but is perhaps the best pitcher out of the Backyard Kids. Vicky Kawaguchi cannot hit to save her life, but she can beat out ground balls and cover a lot of ground with her speed. So we have to make some type of determination of what is the most important skill in backyard baseball. Is it hitting? Everyone has to bat, and it doesn't matter how slow you are if you're hitting dongs. Is it running? We see in backyard football how having only 1 player with above average speed hinders us. Is it pitching? Only 1 player pitches at a time, but there is the possibility you have to substitute them if they're fatigued. Or is it fielding? It's hard to get outs if everyone is dropping the ball. Well, it turns out the skill ratings go much, much deeper than just the big 4. There are hidden stats in the game. You might think I'm referring to the bonuses, the penalties, or the hot and cold days. In Backyard Baseball 2001, your player may randomly have a hot day where their skills increase, and the opposite if they're having a cold day. Those days are represented with an orange background and a blue background respectively in their pictures. These cannot be turned off, but we can make an effort to avoid some of them. For instance, the Weber twins will both get bonuses if they are playing on the same team. And also, this is not something that is introduced in 2001. In the original 1997 release, it is hinted that Maria Luna will basically become Pablo Sanchez's mom if she plays on a team with a full pink uniform. But it gets even deeper than that. You see, there are hidden substats that we cannot see.
Isn't that like a redundancy? Of course we can't see them if they're hidden.
Right, excellent point. Anyway, I came across 2 Google Sheets on the internet.
That's also redundant because how else are you going to find Google Sheets?
Anyway, one is credited to the name John Lund, the other credited to Tyler Schnute. I apologize if I mispronounced either name. People actually mispronounce my last name all the time in real life. What's your name? What's your last name? According to a Reddit post, it appears that John's is the original and Tyler's is modified. These evaluate and score all the Backyard Kids, Pro Kids, and even NPCs on additional skills that we do not see on their cards. Remember, this is a game for children. They're gonna simplify this for the children's. I won't go into every single attribute featured on the sheet, but I'll leave links to them in the description. Forewarning, I don't know how credible these sheets are, but based on my personal experience playing these games, I will say the assessments make sense. How do we compile a team that's totally garbage? Do we pick players and assign them to their least compatible defensive position? Do we go with one common skill deficiency? We could pick the lowest power hitting players and hope for the best that they win without ever hitting a home run. We could pick all the slowest players knowing the odds are microscopic that they'll beat out an infield single. By doing this, however, we still have to acknowledge that these players have strengths and other skills that negate them from what we on this channel consider to be certified butt juice. We're not going to be picking a team today, but while we're here, let's talk about how we're going to set up the run and set up the series for your viewing enjoyment. or torture. Hey, I'm not judging. Difficulty is set to hard. Pitch locator and swing spot are turned off. In addition, I will be turning off errors, more so that we don't get cheap base hits on NPCs being dumb. The games will be 6 innings. I am not a madman. The home field will be determined on what would work to our team's disadvantage. Sandy Flats is a nightmare for anyone with poor speed. The custom player's skill point values will match with whatever the lowest value per skill is on that team. I know that sounded like sentence poop. If Marky DuBois has the lowest batting on the team with 5 points, the custom players would be 5 points, and so on and so on. No power-ups. Pro kids on the roster are discouraged but not forbidden. Again, they might actually end up filling out the roster. We need 9 players. Avoid what I will call circumstantial bonuses wherever possible. Some of these are unavoidable. If we have Kimmy Ekman on our team and we happen to be playing in her backyard on a road game. But we can easily avoid things like drafting Annie Frazier on a team with an animal for the mascot. However, circumstantial penalties, I'm all for that, so long as it doesn't benefit another player. Ronnie Dobbs gets penalized for having his sister Sally on the team, but Sally gets huge skill boosts as a result. Special rules may come up later depending on the theme of the team that we run. Anybody need a break? I have no ad sponsor, real or fictitious here. Okay, now how we're going to set up this series. These are just presentation choices that I'm going to make. Sunny day. Vinny the Gooch are going to be muted. I'm not going to be able to tolerate listening to their repeated lines, and it actually slows down the game because you either have to sit through it or keep hitting the ESC button to advance the game. I will be doing play-by-play and have some characters join me for color commentary.
Can I say whiskey on this channel?
I don't see why you can, it's not a dirty word. And then also, I will do both a long playthrough and a highlights version of the games. If you've watched my Pokemon Crystal Legacy series, you have seen that I upload a full organic episode of the play and recording for those of you that enjoy long background noise videos, and then produce a condensed bells and whistles version, which we call the highlights. You are welcome to leave a comment if you have suggestions. If no one leaves suggestions, then I don't know, I'll throw like a dart at a wall or pick a theme out of a hat or something. I don't have a music cover for you. Let's do More Than Words again because I thought of that album cover idea afterwards.
Hold me close, don't ever let me go. More than words is all I ever needed you to show.
Hey, me, it's you. Anything happened in your time that might have caused all this?